What's up, guys? This is Adam K here with for Winter Kills. He couldn't make it, but we're at the YCS Niagara Falls today, and this is Partho, and he just what did you do today?
I topped the YCS Niagara with Burning Abyss.
Burning Abyss, nice man.
Yep. So
he's got a beautiful mat there. Let's get right into the list.
Yep. Getting right into it. Just the BA lineup: triple Skarm, double Farfa, double Libic. Now the one of is Graph, Barbar, Seer, and Kalkeb.
Okay.
Now I'm not running Hydrolander, so I don't care about multiples. I think Skarm is really good for grind games and just keeping advantage this format. So I think playing 3 of it is very good. Some people play triple Farfa, and I can understand that. Like if you mill multiples, you might not have access to it, but it really didn't come up enough of the time for it to matter, and you can always get it back with Dante. That's why I opted for double Libic instead. This list does use the Dangers, but I don't use the entire Danger lineup, so I'm not calling it Danger BA, but it does use Dangers to turbo out Dante. And because of that, if you discard Libic, you can get off any of these to special summon onto your field, and something else I can show later as well.
Cool.
So those are my Burning Abyss monsters, and there's only 11 of them, so pretty good. It was a 40 card deck, so a little bit more than 1/4 of my deck is Burning Abyss.
Not bad.
And then just more consistency stuff. We have triple Rhino Warrior. It's an amazing card, nothing to say. It's a great normal summon. It's great to mill it. It's the whole package, really. And then we have triple Galars here. Another great monster, free summon. Its mill is actually pretty relevant. Oftentimes you mill like a Rhino Warrior or Libic. I can see a free Dante right there. So it's very good. The burn also comes up sometimes, so every little bit counts when you're trying to push.
Do you ever
game.
burn anybody for game with that?
Not with Galars, but I did burn with Barbar for
course.
game. But Galars burns did help quite a bit, so
Nice,
I
man.
can't complain.
Beautiful.
Now into the Dangers. I play triple Danger Tsuchinoku, and then triple Danger Jackalope. So when this guy's discarded, he special summons himself. When this guy's discarded, I can special summon another Danger from the deck in defense. These are the only Dangers I play, so this one special summons this guy in defense, and he special summons himself. And otherwise, if they don't discard these when I reveal, then they special summon and I draw a card. Helps you get into more cards, and it loads up my grave for Fairy Tale Snow. Some lists were playing double Tsuchinoku and triple Jackalope, and I guess that's fine. I just like triple just from a consistency, just to spam the field harder, and just I think it helps.
Very good.
The one of Tour Guide, very good. Nothing to say about that. And then this was, I guess, arguably like one of my tech choices. One Ejim Sabers. I've loved this card for like years. I've been playing Burning Abyss variants for a while, and Ejim Sabers comes up quite a bit. So for those of you who don't know what it does, I can stack one card from my hand back on top of the deck to special summon it in defense position. So like let's say if they ash my tour guide and I have this in my grave, I can still make Dante and go off from there. It also modulates your hand. Like if you have Seer or Graph in your hand and you want them in the deck, you can stack it back onto your deck with Ejim Sabers and then go off from there.
Broken, man.
It happened today where I special summoned 2 Burning Abyss monsters from my hand. I Xyzed into Dante, I milled for cost, and then they gammaed me, destroying my Dante. I add back a Burning Abyss, and then I normal summoned Tour Guide. They ashed me, but one of the cards I milled was Ejim Saber, so I still went off and made Dante.
Damn, that's broken, man. That turbo Dante.
Yeah, it works out really quite well, and the cool part is, if you want to, you can search it by Skarm. I don't really recommend it, but the better part is you can special summon it off of Libic's effect, because Libic specifies any level 3 Dark Fiend.
Damn, that's broken.
And that's a level 3 Dark Fiend, so
nice.
That helps. I played 1 Terratop, 1 Takatomborg. When you draw Terratop, it's amazing. And even if you don't, it's not like the worst thing, because even if you draw Takatomborg, it's just a level 3. You can still Xyz with it, and most of the time you're good. In this deck, you're playing 10 special summons of level 3 monsters that aren't BAs, so very likely, even if you draw this, you'll have another special summon in hand where you can just normal summon this and go off still.
Nice.
So it's still pretty good.
How many times did you draw the Tectum?
Not too many. I think I drew them both about the same amount of time. Against Altergeist, actually, one of the rounds. I was in a pretty poor position. He had a bunch of back row, but he didn't really have many monsters. I had a couple monsters on the field, but just normal summoning Speed Row Terratop, fetching Tectum just for more advantage, and just beating them down with little monsters at that point. So it is pretty useful.
Monster beat down, sounds good.
Yep.
Alright, let's see what else we got here.
And then the one of Fairy Tale Snow.
Oh, of course.
Again, pretty standard. It's basically like a huge part of the deck control by itself. Does so much. It's not a once per turn, and you can do it multiple times in a chain. So if they like try to call by it or something or anything else like that, you can activate Fairy Tale Snow chain, banish, and then special summon it to dodge that. You can also do things like if you have Beatrice on board or Tour Guide, and they like Widow Anchor you, you can banish those for cost to still special summon this and get off their effects to dodge effects.
Nice.
So it's still pretty good. And then I played hand trap lineup, 9 hand traps. I played triple Ash, triple Bell, and triple Ogre. Now I think they're all like they're pretty good hand traps, and I think playing 9 really helps like you at least seeing 1. And even if you see multiples, it's usually not the end of the world because of how many special summons you have in the deck. Their being level 3 came up quite a bit. Like there were so many times when I would normal summon a hand trap, and then just Xyz into Dante and go from there.
Nice.
And that's why I'm running all the hand traps that are level 3 basically.
Nice.
They're good and they help the deck. And then the last 3 cards are Sekka's Light.
Very good.
So it's really, really good game 1. It helps you keep up with a lot of the meta. It's just an overall good card. And nothing more to say about that, really.
Let's get into the extra deck.
Yeah. So the extra deck, I have the Burning Abyss package. We are playing triple Dante. Triple Dante here. 1 Beatrice and then the 1 Pilgrim. Some people like double Dante, and that's fine, but like a lot of the times in testing, triple Dante was coming up quite a bit, and I did like having triple Dante today. I think it came up like once or twice, where just having more Dante, having more advantage, whenever it dies, it gets something back, and it's just a beater on board. It's very useful. Nothing else to say about that. It's pretty standard. We have a Lynx, Underclock Taker. I'm sure everyone knows this by now, but the main combo is when you have Dante, you mill, and if you mill Fiendish Rhino Warrior, you send Graph, or if you mill Graph, you just use Graph's effect, especially summon Seer. And then you link with Dante and Seer into Underclock. Seer will bring back Dante, and Dante will add back Seer, or any other Burning Abyss in your graveyard, and then you send that from your hand to the graveyard to make Beatrice under Underclock. So that's the standard combo. It's pretty useful as a link too, and it's pretty good. A big part of my starting plays today had to do with Topological Trisbania. Trisbania is a really, really good card. I played against 4 Altergeist players today, and even when you're not playing against Altergeist, against like a lot of other decks, if you turn 1 open Beatrice plus Trisbania, like your opponent needs to deal with this card, otherwise their back row is gone, and you can just push for game really easily. Now, a way to do that pretty easy is if you do the standard combo with Underclock Taker and having like Dante underneath it or something, or Beatrice underneath it rather, and you have a special summon from hand like Galars, you can just link that and this away into Topological Trisbania. The important part is don't make this first and then make your Dante or Beatrice, because this banishes that. So just keep that in mind.
Of course.
And then just, so Nightmares, some people are running double Phoenix, but Cerberus really helps clearing a lot of things, and it's a hard once per turn for all of their effects, so just play them all, I think. And then the MVP, I guess, for pushing for game, Boral Sword Dragon.
The trusty Steve.
It's just like a really, really good card, and nothing to say, it just pushes really, really hard. Here's Boralow Dragon. I don't think I made it that much today. It's really useful though as a threat. Like I was trying to make it in my top 32, and my opponent probably knew I was going to, and he had to deal with my board before that, so he stopped me ahead of time. But this is a huge threat against Altergeist, especially if you make it. They have very few inherent outs, like unless they draw like a kaiju that they sided in or something. If they have the standard Hextia plus the the level 4 normal summon.
Marionetter?
Yeah, Marionetter, exactly. That pushes Hexia to 3100. You can just Boral Sword chain to decrease its attack by 500. So this is always bigger. You can make Hexia bigger, but it takes a lot more resources. And then just other other Xyz monsters that I thought might come up. So the reasoning behind some of these was this was just for game or for a last bit of damage, sometimes with burn, and pushing for game that might come up. It didn't come up today. These two were for... this was to out Borload Dragon if I couldn't see enough of my cards where I could make like my own Borload or Boral Sword. So this is just an easy out, but it also didn't come up today. This was for like Gozen match or something. I can't make Phoenix under Gozen match, so this can out that by itself, but it also didn't come up. So maybe you could change those, but it worked out pretty well overall.
And how about the side deck?
Yep, so for the side deck, most of it is pretty standard. Triple evenly matched. It is a really, really, really good card. And honestly, like, this is probably going to be very prone to criticism, but even when going first against back row heavy decks, if I'm just making a Beatrice, I still might side this in, because if they deal with the Beatrice and they out it, I still have it if I draw it in hand, and I can just out their entire board basically. That came up today where I had a board, I had my Beatrice, I had my plays, and then a True Draco player just drew into Card of Demise, drew 3 cards, and by the end of the turn he ripped my entire board to pieces, had like maybe 10, 11 cards on the board, probably just 10. But like I evenly matched him for like almost everything, and he just lost from there. Nice. So it's pretty solid. Triple twisters, twister. Your discards are great, and if you discard a danger, it also goes off. So nothing to say about that. Triple Dino Wrestle Pankratops, pretty good. Just
goo.
Yeah, they can out Inspector Border. Sadly, mine was Solemn Strike when I tried to do that, but it still baits out stuff. It's pretty good overall, and it can beat over a lot. It's kind of annoying because a lot of people summon it against me, and my Dante's 2500 defense is 26, so it can beat over that.
Damn.
So, but it's pretty good. Nothing to say about that. Triple Gamma Seal for things like Sky Strikers, other things like sometimes True Draco. You might want to sign this in just so they don't get the extra bonuses when you activate effects. And then these last 3 cards were maybe a bit more questionable, but I still think that they might be worth a look. Imperial Order, Skill Drain, and Breakthrough Skill.
Ooh, beautiful.
So the Imperial Order is obviously against Sky Striker, any heavy spell deck. It's pretty solid overall. Skill Drain, I just think like if you set up a board, it shuts down enough stuff where you can go off and do your own things. If you really wanted to, if you had Farfa on board and you had like any other level 3, you can link away and like into Phoenix or something and have Farfa as Chainlink 2 and Phoenix as Chainlink 1, so you can still use their effects and resolve them because they'd be off the field at that point. And Breakthrough Skill, I was looking for a third like starter card to set against my opponents to just stop them, and thinking about it, Breakthrough Skill is pretty good because if I mill it, it can still be used on my turn. Like if I attack over Sky Striker Link and they get out Ray and they summon like Kagari or something, I can Breakthrough Skill them on my turn and from the graveyard. So overall it was great. I didn't really use them much today. It didn't really come up. I was kind of sad I didn't see them, but it's okay. I saw this once and it was okay. Nothing to complain about. I'm not sure what I would put in instead, but it was all overall okay.
Nice.
So,
what were your matchups like over the past 2 days, man?
Yeah, round 1 I played again. I actually didn't play against anyone at all. I think my opponent didn't show up, so that was a freebie. But round 2, I played against the Danger Dark World FTK. I'm sure a lot of people are hearing about that now. It wasn't Jeff Jones. It was someone else, Max Reynolds, I guess. And I opened really poorly that game. This deck is very good consistently, but sometimes it does brick. Like once every couple dozen games, it does brick. So I opened poorly, and he goes second, and he OTKs me. So I'm like, okay, it's an OTK deck. Going second, in the second game, I make him go first, and he FTKs me with Cannon Soldier, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I lose.
I'm sure about that. And then you won out from there, right? I
played against, day 1, I played against 3 Altergeist players, 1 Goki player, and 1 Trickstar Mech Knight player.
And wasn't that your tie? You said?
Yeah, Trickstar Mech Knight was my draw. Game 2 went into time, and he just had enough burn damage to basically even it out, and then we drew from there.
So what was your final standings again?
Day 2, I won both my games, one against Altergeist and one against Sky Strikers, and I was 8-1-1. So I was overall 10th after Swiss.
Very nice.
And then top 32 happens, and of course I play against a mirror match, like in top 32, Danger BA mirror. And I mean, nothing to say about that. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! And he went first. He won the die roll. He opened everything, Beatrice, Snow, and I couldn't just push through it. Game 2, I opened really poorly. I opened triple Ghost Spell, a Scarm, and a Breakthrough Skill, and I just lost from there. But nothing to complain about. It's fun, and Burning Abyss is still doing well, so it's all good. Yeah.
Solid. Any shout-outs, man?
Yeah. Shoutouts to Adam for lending me Tsuchinoko and driving us here.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, and to Nate and Lawrence and Pablo and all of Yu-Gi-Oh! For playtesting and practice. Shoutouts to the greater Buffalo community. David Adams, Chris for helping with rulings when we're at Buffalo and all of that stuff. And really shoutouts to all of my opponents too. They're all great opponents. Yeah.
Not bad, man. All right, thank you for the profile.
Yep, no problem.